Hey everybody, first of all, I'd like to apologize for dressing like either Bert or Ernie. I'm not sure which Sesame Street character this shirt is reminiscent of, but it's definitely one. I just really like it, and I'm not sure how to style myself in general. When it comes to the shirt, I'm not sure how to style myself without looking like a giant toddler. So, I digress. Bear with me. My questionable fashion isn't the point of this video. The point of this video is just like a quick and dirty weigh-in update video. I did vlog this week, but like everything just felt so incomplete. You know, like all of the snippets that I did film, it felt like they were just too small, lost the plot, didn't really like stitch together into anything that anybody would care about. I got very in my head about it. This happens from time to time, and I typically just don't post a video at all, and I am trying to not do that. I'm trying to stay consistent because it's a miracle that anyone cares at all about what I'm doing in my life, so I want to update you. So let's get into the weigh-in, which is very anticlimactic. Last week I weighed 209.2 pounds. This morning I stepped on the scale and I again weighed 209.2 pounds. So that's a difference of 0. We are still 47.8 pounds down, which is not insignificant. I'd typically be pretty indifferent about just maintaining or even excited that I am holding the line, especially in these last 3 months of the year, which notoriously, you know, kind of just throw off the whole groove. But I'm also getting very impatient because I have made this rule in my head, and I'm very stubborn when it comes to these sorts of things, that until I see 50 pounds lost on the scale, I can't peek at any of the other progress things, you know, the pictures, the measurements, all of that jazz. And I am very curious. And it's not that I haven't seen any change at all. Like, I've definitely been noticing things, but like, there's nothing like that side-by-side picture comparison of just like this big chunk of time. That's just when you really notice it. It's not like as apparent when it comes to the day-to-day, like small incremental things, especially these last like 10 pounds or so, because it's been very slow going. And it truly is kind of an arbitrary number because I'm sure like in the pictures, you're not really going to notice a couple of pounds difference, but it's whatever. That's just like this frustrating like little thing. So for the update of this week, it's been kind of a rough one. And I have been noticing for a while now that mentally I haven't been doing as well. I've been more prone to having down days, like back on some depressed bullshit. One day this week I did spend entirely in bed. It wasn't like this long stint. It was just that day, and then I kind of like got over it the next day. So they're just kind of like small bouts. It's nothing prolonged, but I've just been noticing like more and more it happening again, which is really frustrating because that was like all of like 2022 to like 2024, just that constantly, you know, like bed days, fatigue, all of that stuff. So I'm just like, oh no, not you again. But along with that, I have been noticing like a lot more acne flare-ups. Like, I don't really know if you can tell because my camera is very gracious in making me look a little bit less ragged than I am. But I have like a lot of acne along my chin right now, forehead, basically like the perimeter of my face. Just been experiencing a lot more breakouts, and usually like that coincides with me like forgetting to wash my face at night or whatever, but I've been like very diligent about it. So I'm thinking it's more like along a hormonal issue. And also I've been noticing a lot more bloating, especially around my period, which my periods have gotten like worse when it comes to like cramps and bloating. And a little bit of backstory lore if you weren't aware. I went and I got a hormonal test. My estrogen and my DHEAS were very, very low, like in the menopausal range. And so my provider started me on like a couple of supplements to help support my estrogen and stuff, and seeing if it wouldn't just like kind of kickstart my body into making more. Just a really low dose, 5 milligrams of DHEA. So I've been pretty consistent in taking that for like the past few months now. Except for when I went on vacation, I brought all my supplements. I just forgot to take them for those 2 weeks. But other than that, been pretty consistent. So potentially those supplements could be doing something, and this could be evidence that they're doing something. You know, I don't really know. I can't see what my hormones are doing at any point in time. You just kind of have to like read the room, like read the signs. But I'm going to give the supplements a solid like 6 months of time before like I retest my hormones and see like what they're doing, where they're at, if they're improving, that sort of thing, or if I need to like pursue a different route. But another thing that may or may not be contributing to like the mental health issues. When I saw the biggest improvement in my mental health was when I was like following a pretty strict ketogenic diet, specifically for my mental health. Like the weight loss stuff has always just been like this other great thing that's been happening for my health that the keto did. And my intention was to stay like fully keto for like 2 years or so in order to like reap the benefits that the diet is supposed to do for your mental health. I made a whole video on like the whole keto thing. If you're curious, I'll link it somewhere. But there's been research that it helps people in the mental health department, which I experienced firsthand. Like it's how I got out of like this major bad spot in my life. But it started to get harder and harder to like hit those numbers on like the little keto monitor that I had. You know, you just do like a blood test and it tells you like how many ketones are in your blood. And it got harder and harder to hit the point where it was saying that I was like in ketosis. So I kind of got discouraged and I fell off of being like full keto and started just doing like low carb. And I did notice I was having like more fatigue and stuff with like the higher carbs, but the negative like mental stuff like the depression and a lot of my panic and anxiety was still like heavily subsided. So I was like, you know, whatever. The lower carb is definitely easier than like the full-blown strict keto, so I'll just do that. But I am thinking that I may go back to the more strict keto diet for mental health purposes because I don't want to go back there, you know. I don't want to slide back into where I was at the end of 2024. No carb is worth it for me. I don't know why my body reacts so well to keto, but it just really did. And I think I'm gonna like try to not be so hung up on what like the keto monitor is saying, because I have heard that like sometimes like the ketones that your body produces don't necessarily show up on the monitor. Like you get more efficient at using them. So if your body's using them, they're not like just free flowing in your blood to show up on a monitor. I don't know. I should have just stayed the course, but it's really hard for me when I'm not like seeing something to continue doing it. But yeah, so that's pretty much the update. Sorry that it ended on a downer note. It's just kind of been one of those weeks, you know? But I just want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!